All right, let's get this show on the road. Yes, sir. I wonder if it cut me, like, started before I said, all right, let's get the show on the road. I think it did. Anyway, as I said before, all right, let's get this show on the road. Taking a scoot back so you can see my fret. I'm still I'm still working on getting everything together. I'm only 6% done with this project, so I haven't quite perfected everything. Like I would like to by the end have a cool strap so I can play my guitar standing up, and I would like to maybe do something about the fact that the background in here is mostly blank white walls, which is kind of boring. Um, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to go home for Thanksgiving and pick up a bunch of my stuff that I left with my parents. Oh, hey, I'm drinking water from a Coca-Cola glass while wearing my weird heroin written like Coca-Cola sweater that I got in China. That I had a bad habit of buying any clothes that had something weird in English in it. I have like 4 t-shirts. I had a bunch of jackets and stuff that I left there actually. But anyway, this is actually probably the most comfortable sweater I've ever owned, but I feel like it's a little bit insensitive to wear in public, so I don't do it very often. That's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the song that I'm doing today. So I am amazed that we made it a whole 6 times doing this before I started talking about Julie Doiron, because she is probably my favorite songwriter of all time. Probably, I mean, I always say my favorite band of all time is Melt Banana, but in a more like traditional singer-songwriter, recording artist type of way, it's probably Julie Doiron. And I've seen Melt Banana 5 times. I've seen Julie Doiron once. Melt Banana is from Tokyo. Julie Doiron's from somewhere in Canada. So I feel like she's a lot closer. So, I feel like, well, I think her excuse is that she would rather be a mom than tour. Anyway, I'm rambling. So the reason I first discovered Julie Doiron is thanks to Fulcrum Records in Chico, California, now defunct. When I moved to Chico, I had, one of those experiences that we all have, that we all just kind of got to power through, of, meeting someone and thinking, oh, this is the woman that I am going to go the distance with. I don't know if we're going to get married. I'm only 19, but we're definitely, I had a hair sticking up and it was bugging me. But we're definitely like, this is something serious happening here. Like I've found the one for all intents and purposes. And of course, needless to say, it fell apart pretty quickly, and just in a state of complete heartbreak, I went to Fulcrum Records and just told. So the owner of Fulcrum Records, her name is Renee, and said to Renee, give me like 4 of your most depressing albums you know of. And I still remember what our choices were. It was two Bright Eyes albums, Fevers and Mirrors and Lifted, three by the Black Heart Procession, and then a Julie Doiron CD, and I'm blanking on the name of it. The song I'm playing today is not from that CD, but it's gonna bug me. Well, anyway, so that was how I learned about Julie Doiron, and I think it says a lot about where I was at with my understanding of the world and my place in it. That I really thought the main character from Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle, was like a cool guy that I wanted to emulate. And so there's a scene in Taxi Driver where Travis Bickle is buying all these guns, and he's like, "How much for everything on the table?" And I remember when I was buying my depressing CDs, I had to tell Renee, "How much for everything on the table?" So I could be like a person who I was idolizing, not in a very healthy way. Not sure where I wanted to go with that. But anyway, yeah. So I own, I think, 5 different Julie Doiron albums, and just have always been a huge fan. Just a really sincere person who, if she's coming from a place of sadness, you feel it. And if she's coming from a place of happiness, you feel it. And she doesn't really hide behind a lot of metaphor or anything like that. She, is able to describe a situation and really make it comprehensible. And I've actually really wanted to play one of her songs, but most of the songs are a little bit tricky for me, and I've tried to play them and said, I better go with something else this week. That's happened twice now, and we're only on week number 6. So, yeah, not quite there. But this song is very simple to play. It almost feels like cheating. And I just figured out how to play it from watching someone else on YouTube. I've linked to their video in the description. I'm still not sure I'm playing it 100% correct. When Doiron plays it, she ends with a chord. And the best guess that I can give as to what that chord is a C, but you listen and it's clearly not. So I don't know what chord she uses at the end, just as kind of like a cap off, but also that kind of doesn't really matter. It's just like one very short part of the song that you can not do at all or mess up with. And that's Julie Doiron. I'm trying to, I feel like I had a lot more I wanted to say. I did want to mention that I think of all the Canadian recording artists that I can think of, Julie Doiron is the most stereotypically Canadian. I don't, that sounds awful, but like, okay, like Skinny Puppy, like most people who are into Skinny Puppy have no idea that they're from Canada because they don't fit what our mental images of a Canadian person Rush is probably the most famous band ever from Canada. And I feel like they kind of, because they're like, like not abrasive enough to be an American band, but still, like if you said they're from Detroit or something, people probably wouldn't have been surprised. Or yeah, Neil Young. Yeah, people like you feel like, okay, this has Canadian vibes. This music, it seems very nice. Like you listen to the song and you're like, hey, this guy would probably help me move. He'd probably be really friendly. He'd probably say thank you for letting him help me move, which is a stereotype of Canadian people. Julie Doiron is just like, her music is about being really nice and really friendly and being cold. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Like you might as well be writing music about being a moose. It just feels very Canadian. But it's also just very human. I really kind of wish I hadn't said that about her because I mean, first of all, it makes me sound kind of racist to Canadians, but also like, yeah, there's something like I feel like you could go anywhere in the world and play her music. She has a lot of music in French, and on an emotional level, it resonates with me even if I don't understand what she's saying. I actually thought about picking up French on Duolingo this morning, and I think I'm going to. Like, it just sounds like such a fun language to know how to speak. Can't think of anything else to yammer on about. So this song is called "Nice to Come Home," and again, really simple, really heartfelt, but also, like I feel like this song, people, it might feel like an overly sappy song, but at the same time, it's just, I feel like it focuses in on that part of us that just needs to say, yes, I'm feeling these feelings and I need to get it out. And that's why I've always loved Julie Doiron. And I hope I get a chance to see her again because huge fan. All right, I'll shut up now. It's always nice to come home after getting lots done. I take off my boots, take off all my coats, and come right into my room. Turn on my little lamp and finally sit down. Pick up my guitar and give it some strums. And I think of you in New Brunswick. I think of you in your tiny house. I think of you in New Brunswick. I think of you. You in your cozy bed. I can wonder what you did with your day. I'd like to tell you about mine, but I'll wait. You probably played guitar too. I know because you always do. And right now you're making supper after your day is through. You may even be in your lazy boy chair, and soon I will be there too. And I think of you in New Brunswick, and I think of you in your tiny house. I think of you in New Brunswick. I think of you in your cozy bed. That's it. I couldn't point to New Brunswick on a map, but I love that song so much. I want to move there. I really do. No, I don't. I mean, health insurance would be nice, but I would want to do more research before moving there. I'm not opposed to the idea. Yeah. Well, I feel like that's enough of an embarrassment I've made of myself for one day. Thanks a lot for stopping by and watching. Hope you're having a great Sunday or a great whatever day it is you're watching this. I feel like there's something I want to say. I think it's because I've been feeling really sick lately. I'm feeling a lot better today, but I'm feeling. Oh, and by the way, in case my mom is watching this, I got all the Dayquil that you sent me today, so thank you for that. I probably got it yesterday, but I didn't even notice because I didn't even leave my apartment. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like I've just been starved for social contact. That's one thing that I've learned about teaching is that it's weirdly a lonely profession because you spend 8 hours a day only socializing in a very specific way with, people who you really can't talk to about your thoughts and feelings and who come to you with everything. So it's a little bit different. Anyway, that is my contribution to the universe for today. And hopefully I will be able to play more songs on guitar soon. I really would love to be able to work with a teacher or something. Right now, it's been really tough to find anyone who has that kind of availability. But like I mentioned earlier, I'm going home for the weekend, and I might whisper for Thanksgiving, and I might whisper in the ear of a couple of people I know. All right, now I'm really going. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.